Hello, my friends. Today's date is February the 25th, and this is a reading for you if this is your birth date. This is a four-card pull, a general energy card for the year to follow, a challenge you might face this year, an action to take to stay in balance, and an outcome or synopsis card. This is the general energy card of the year. It is the river. And what does the river say? Well, the river, this is a year where you're going to have the chance to jump into the river. And the river is the flow of life. The river is the allowance to change. The river is the surrender to be changed and to be healed and to be altered, to grow with your truth, to grow with your authenticity. We need to jump into the river to allow ourselves to grow into what we need to be. And the river will change us. The river will bring cleansing to us, water to those places that are dry. It will bring softness to those places that are hard. It will bring compassion to those places in our heart that see things in strict ways and in boxes. The river breaks down all those boxes and breaks down all those strict ways because you don't have control in the river. The river says, surrender to me, and I will take care of you, and I will love you, and I will hold you, and I will take you to your true destiny if you allow me. But otherwise, you're going to fight against the river, and you know what fighting against the river means. You're going to have a fight that's impossible. The river's not going to stop, and it's not going to uh, allow you to fight against it. It's much bigger than you are. So jump into your evolution, jump into your enlightenment, jump into your allowance to surrender and be changed. The river takes you from death, from life to death to life again. And that's the essence of the river and the water of the river and the turmoil of the river and the challenge of the river and the surrender that's needed in the river, to surrender to yourself to become your most truest self. So what is your particular challenge? Well, it is the high priestess, trusting your intuition. The high priestess is the closest energies to the internal mechanisms of ourself. It is our second chakra, our fourth chakra, our fifth chakra, our sixth chakra. It is the emotional connection that our intuition brings, that our inner child work brings, our emotional wounds bring. It is the direct connection to our love and our compassion and our surrender. She's talking about the river. The high priestess talks about the river. But you need to be quiet enough to hear. And then you have to be open enough to trust that the words and the essences underneath the high priestess are your truth, and that you need to follow them. And that's what the river says. You need to listen to the high priestess, because she intuitively knows, that part of you intuitively knows what you need to do next and where you need to go and how you need to surrender to what is coming to you, whatever that is. There's something big coming to you, and it's saying, are you going to do this way and listen to yourself and listen to your truth? Are you just going to listen to your head yakking and all the people out there who are yakking at you and telling you, no, you can't do that, and no, you can't do this, and no, you have to do it this way? And that's in your own head. That might be outside too, more than likely. But you have to fight against the what you might think of as some kind of craziness, to listen to your intuition, to listen to your guides, your guidance, to listen to yourself in your highest form, and to listen with your heart and understand deeply that your inner child, your soul, your enlightened child is asking for something different. It wants you to change. It doesn't want to be in this fear anymore. It doesn't want to be in this pain anymore. It doesn't want to be in this control anymore. It wants to let go, but it wants to know that it's safe to do it. So you have to reassure your inner child, that it's safe and that you can carry it through the river, and that you can love it through the river, and that you can honor its challenges and its pains and its needs as you go down the river. And that is what a lot of this card talks about. Reputation, skunk. This is the action to take to stay balanced, is to understand that to become a whole person, you have to become a whole person. You have to honor your emotions as well as your intellect. You have to honor your intuition as well as your understandings of things that you can see. You have to honor all of those senses of things. And when you begin to honor all of those senses of things, do you not need to be so repulsive to people that you put your tail up and get mad at them and spray them if they come at you and question you and question what you're doing and call you crazy? So, this is about how you feel about yourself and letting go of the judgments of other people that might not understand, might not agree with you, might not give you the energy that you wish. But if you want to be true to yourself and you want to be honest with yourself and if you want to be integral to yourself, then the high priestess is calling you to listen to your intuition. The river is saying, you got to jump into this, man or woman. You got to jump into this and go with the flow and trust yourself and keep being honest with yourself and keep putting down your tail and keep being vulnerable. And skunk is very vulnerable critter. It doesn't like to spray things. It only does that as a sense of protection. And if it feels like it's being, attacked, it's going to spray. But most of the time, skunk can be very docile and very playful and even a pet. Many people have pet skunks. So this is about your reputation. And maybe your reputation of being a, quote, thinker might change, but you can always talk about your emotions in the ways that are intellectual as well. And you can teach people how to be more in tune with their own intuitions if you allow your own self to listen to your own intuitions and trust yourself and move into the deep waters. So this is the outcome card or synopsis card. I love that there's 3 heads here. I always see that this card is the belly and it's the inner child, and it's often the one that's controlling us because the child has gone through the pains of becoming an adult, but the child still runs us because there's all kind of wounds that haven't been faced in there, and there's all kinds of wounds that the child wants to be safe, the child wants to be cared for, nurtured, allowed, respected, and given a sense of playfulness in the world and not just fear. And then there's this head in the middle. That's the adult. That's the adult who's going along and sometimes can't hear the big sense of the child underneath, but is looking out through this head, this eyes, this head, this eyes, and see things in a particular way that may be connected to the inner child or not. And then there's this little head on top, and that's the head of consciousness. That's the head, the bigger head of the universe that might seem small because it's often the smallest voice inside of us, but it's often the one that has the best direction to give to us. So we have to listen to the inner child, and we have to listen to our wisest wisdom, our greatest understandings that come through humanitarian teachings, that come through guidance from other beings, that come from lifting us up out of our own selfishness and self-centeredness and allowing words of truth and words of inspiration and words of understanding to come to us to let us grow and to let us be as big as we can. So there are 3 levels of understanding and comprehension: the gut, the head, and the crown, the connection to spirit that says, well, you're not just this body. I am divine consciousness of all that is, and I open that to divine consciousness. May this be a beautiful and blessed year. May it be one of peace. May you jump into the river easily. May you honor that your reputation can only grow if you allow yourself to listen to your intuition and jump into the river in the way that your whole body, your whole consciousness wants to jump in and become something true, become something authentic. Home Ataquias.